Yeah, I want to be vulnerable. I want to be honest with you. I have researched this diet and I have been, number one, I've been a nutrition coach for 10 years, but I myself went on this way of eating 3 years ago on purpose, and I fell into it for a specific reason. But my first 6 months on carnivore, I was still not convinced that what I was doing was the right thing for my body. I was not convinced that high fat was the way to go. I was nervous. I was not sure of what to say to friends and family about cholesterol. I was not sure about any of this. And so, literally, for 3 years, I have been deep diving and searching and learning and adapting my nutrition coaching practice, and really, really shifting. But for the 6 months at the start, I was kind of still on a carb binge. I was kind of still in my food addiction, and I was on carnivore, but then I was going off. And then I was on carnivore, and then I was going off. But I would say that I was more of a ketovore. And then when the restriction felt like too much, I would go back to eating carbohydrates because I still hadn't dealt with my food addiction. But 2.5 years later, I've dealt with it. I continue to work on it. I journaled a lot. I've integrated everything that I've done personally and everything that I've coached in the past 10 years now into my current coaching practice. But I want you to know that it was not an easy start for me at first. I say all the time that I want everyone to start with a carnivore cleanse, like an elimination diet, and starting on strict carnivore, meat, salt, water, maybe some little bit of dairy and eggs. But I didn't do that. I have to be honest, I didn't do that. I did well. I was 80% carnivore. But then I looked at myself and I was like, am I doing worse for my health when I am still having carb binges, but I'm also eating super high fat? And while that's not true, it felt like, okay, I'm doing all this work to become fat adapted and switch energy systems. And then all I'm doing is just going on these carb binges after. And it wasn't all the time, but it would be, my typical, like, go out for drinks with my friends, have a couple drinks, and then have some carbs at night, wake up the next day and say, you already cheated last night. You might as well do it for the next couple of days. And then I would go back to carnivore. And that was like a consistent thing that happened for that 6 months. And then what I did, I stopped drinking. I took 6 months off and I did carnivore full on, and I did it strict, and it was the best thing that I ever did for myself. Because number one, it shifted my ability to look at the diet and see firsthand how successful it can be and how good you can feel when you do it right. It also helped me adapt my coaching practices. Hold on, my hand's getting tired. But it helped me to see the science experiment for what it really was. Because if you're not going to do this the full way, it's going to be very hard for you to identify, are you even sensitive to plants? Do you need to keep them out forever? Or do you do a carnivore cleanse, lose the weight that you want to, and go back to a ketovore lifestyle? You never know until you do it full on. And that's my mentality always in life. It's just for those 6 months, I was not convinced. I was worried about it being high fat. I still wasn't convinced that high fat was healthy for you. And it took me a while to shift. And then once I went in full on and moved on. And here we are today, and I've got a coaching practice, and I help people all the time, and I want to provide free information for you here. I want to convince as many people to go on this diet as possible because it is healing people. It is changing lives, and I believe so passionately in it. But I was not perfect from the start, and I want you to know that, and I will continue to tell you about those vulnerable things because those are important to share so everybody can feel seen and feel like they're not the one that can't be fixed. Because everybody's journey in this is different. Mine was certainly up and down until I made the decision. And one thing I'll leave you with right now is the fact that there is discipline and there is willpower. You need both. Willpower will get you started. Discipline is going to keep you going in those hard times. If you are seeing people on this carnivore diet who have not messed up and who have not had to kind of go up and down and up and down and up and down, you know that results are not linear. They are here, 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 here. But is the trend up? Great. So as much as I want you to stay strict carnivore and I want you to do the science experiment, sometimes you're going to mess up. Maybe you're not fully convinced and you can't go there yet. Maybe you got to start with ketovore. Okay, I'm going to stop because there's so many topics I could spin off. But I hope this is helpful.